morning and welcome to another episode of Perkasie Business Chat. Today I have the pleasure of having Jill Strickland from Frox as my guest. Good morning, Jill.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Good to see you
Hi.
all.
Just seeing you and your smiling face makes everybody feel good. I'm sure that's the way it is when they come into your store, and that's the way that when they walk out of your store, they always do it with a smile.
Yeah, that's what becoming a stranger, they leave a friend. So
there you go. That's a good way to look at it. How have things been since the shutdown with Frox?
I have to say when it first happened, I was a little shell-shocked and I wasn't sure how to do this. I really opened a brick and mortar 17 years ago and I was very used to that formula. I did a little online. I did Frox. I've been doing Frox in a Box for a couple of years, which is alive, but my customers were very used to that brick and mortar walking in. But then I pivoted, and I would say the silver lining of all of this, even though it is a pandemic and we are aware that people are being hurt through this, what I learned about myself and my business is looked at all the opportunities that this brought on and this silver lining. So there's a lot of them. So
good. How have your customers responded to this new way of shopping at Frox?
It is really, really funny. We are not millennials, I will tell you that. So the funny thing about that is, they were a little challenged. I will say the last couple of years, I've said, like us on Facebook or, go online. And they're like, I can't do all that. So it really has forced my customers to learn this technology, which is great. And it's kind of, we brought them along. And the first couple of lives, I have to be honest, were a little shaky. And everyone's like, what do I do? What do I do? But last night we had a live and they got right on and they were typing and I've been packing up orders and it's been really great. And then we also took everything off our main page of Frox because Facebook has got a little weird. So we still have our main page, but we have this thing called our VIP page, and it is only Frox customers and they must be approved by me, so it's only a group of Frox girls, and that's been a really nice way to communicate and just feel like I'm talking to my girls, even though I'm not talking to my girls. So it's been great.
Very cool. Tell us a little bit about the live. Some people might not be familiar with what a Facebook Live is. How does that work, and how do people interact with you that way?
So what's really cool is I have this platform where you go on Facebook and you are live. So just like you and I are doing this Zoom call right now, the live, as opposed to just doing a video and then you post it and the people can't interact. The beauty of a live is whatever happens, happens. But it's like having a conversation with them virtually, and they love that, and they can interact and they comment. And then what we do is we take a selection of things, usually about 25 items or so, and then we show them those items. I've been modeling because I am the only one here. My Madeline and all my girls are unfortunately quarantined, so they get me, which is awesome, and my awesome mature body modeling everything. But they love it because they know me and they know my body shape. And then they really, it's a very cool format. They just write in the comments what it is they want, and it processes their credit card, and we send it out to them. So actually, I've been delivering locally and sending out. So yeah, very cool.
Has that been pretty successful for you?
Really, really good. That really has been what saved me. A couple of things, Daryl being an amazing landlord and helping us with the rent, deferring our rent, and also, yes, the lives. I would be out of business if I didn't have the lives, yes.
And we were talking offline earlier, but this may be a new way of you doing business in the future.
Absolutely. So all the things that I had in my head but had no time to do because running a store and buying and helping the customers when they're walking the door, what it forced me to do is, by my store being closed, it made me not rely on the brick and mortar and rely on other things. So going forward, absolutely, the lives are going to continue, and there'll probably be more. We'll figure that all out. We're also, our online is going to be much more, and we're going to work with a local gentleman His name is David, and I slaughter and at Total Hatch, and he's going to be doing some videos because he said, as we were discussing, he said, you don't really from your social media get you, Jill, and I'm kind of, everyone calls me the secret sauce. So we're going to be doing some videos right on our website to give them the Frox experience. And then also I'm working on a podcast called Behind the Button.
Ooh, tell us a little bit more about that. I know we talked about that. That sounds really exciting. Tell us about what you have in mind.
So Behind the Button is, our logo is a button. So what's happening behind the button? So kind of behind the scenes. So if I'm going to New York and I'm buying for the store, I'm going to take a video of me buying. If I, and merchandising in the store, we're going to do that. We're going to bring on guests. I have a lot of friends in the industry, so I might bring on different guests to talk about, different industry things. I also want to do like a Women Helping Women series. So, all these women have these side gigs and charities. So I would like to bring on, the lady that sells, the scented oil, and the lady that sells the lipstick, because all these ladies are, doing it for extra income, doing it to support their family. So this is a forum that we could bring them on. They maybe talk about their business, talk about their life. So we're going to do a little bit of that. And then also just for fun, I got my real estate license, so I'll be, if I go out on a transaction, I may be talking about that too. So yeah, a lot of whatever's happening in my life is going to be happening behind the button. Yeah.
So you're going to be an open book, an open button.
I am, to an extent, yes.
It sounds like you're pretty excited about the future, despite all this short-term despair, I guess. Optimistic for the future?
It's funny. I see all this controversy and how certain people look at it a certain way, and that's just okay, and I get it. For me, I always look at, I guess being an entrepreneur, you're a problem solver. So, I have problems every day. So every day I have a challenge, and every day I have to figure out how to overcome that challenge. And for me, what I've noticed through the years is without this pandemic, my customers are challenged getting in the store. A lot of them, we started out and our kids were babies. I started out and, Chloe was 5 and Noah was 1, and now they're both in their 20s and gone. So they are all getting their big mom jobs, and their big girl jobs, and they don't have time. They're working 50, 60 hours a week, and their daughters are also working. So they don't have maybe the time to get into a brick and mortar. So what I'm finding through this was that I'm having customers that I haven't seen in a while because they just haven't been able to make it in. And then also, of course, my Ambler customers. We built up a pretty big customer base there in 4 years. And now that we don't have that brick and mortar, a lot of my Ambler girls are taking advantage of that. So that's been amazing. So what it makes me think for the future is maybe I'm not so reliant on the brick and mortar. It's always going to be here as a little showroom. But the world is our customer base now. So
exactly.
Yeah.
I think a lot of businesses have learned that same lesson in that you're not tied to the brick and mortar any longer. Yeah. The world really is your marketplace, and you're able to connect with customers around the world. Right. And if you can recreate the shop experience or the Frox experience online, man, you have a gold mine there, because that's what draws people into your store. And if you can do that online for the world, oh my goodness, you're just going to have exponentially bigger market to deal with. So that's really cool.
And it's been really cool, and it's been working because a couple of my gals have never, because they were introduced when you do a live, you ask people to share it with their friends. So a lot of the gals that were in the original group. So we started the group when we had about 100. Now we have about 500. So that's really grown. And that's because I'm really selective who I let in the group. You gotta fill some criteria. You gotta be fun. You have to be willing to work with my technology challenges, that kind of thing. But a couple of the girls I have never met, and I've sent things out to them, and they said it fit perfectly. And I said, well, by talking to and looking at your Facebook pictures, I deciphered their body shape and got it right. So, and they said, I can't wait to come to your store whenever.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So tell us, how do people get in touch with you? What's the best way to reach Jill at Frox?
I would say direct message me through Facebook is probably the best way. And then they can email me at shopfrox@gmail.com. But the best way is direct message me through Facebook.
Excellent. Sounds good. Well, this has been very interesting. As you know, excuse me, I end all my interviews with an opportunity for you to shine as a performer and give you an opportunity to either tell me a joke, sing a song, or do an impression, or if you're adventurous, you can answer 5 rapid fire questions.
I know.
That you don't know what those questions are. So believe it or not, singing, telling jokes, and do an impression are the safe choice. Now, Jill, I know you're an adventurous person.
Mm-hmm. I chose the questions.
Are you going to take the 5-question challenge? All right. Get ready. Get ready.
And girls, forgive me because I don't know what these questions are. So whatever he says, I'm game. So here
first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. It'll give a window into your brain. What is the favorite piece of clothing in your closet right now?
Shoes, my booties, my white booties.
Excellent. Describe yourself as a teenager in 3 words.
Everyone called me Sparky, spazzy, joyful, and curious.
Excellent. That Sparky and jazzy. I would have guessed those. That's easy. All right, now here's one. If you could be from any other decade, which one would it be?
I'm gonna say the 70s, man. I messed around. I was young, but I love the clothes, man. Halston and disco and the 70s, man.
Somehow I saw you as a roaring 20s, but 70s are pretty close. 70s and 20s. I don't know. There's a whole big difference. All right. Who would play you in a movie of your life?
Ooh, good question. I always get Jennifer, whatever her name is from Dirty Dancing, that I look like her.
Jennifer Grey. Jennifer
Grey. But if I had, that's a good question. Don't know. I'll go with Jennifer Grey.
Okay, that's a good one. Usually your first response is the best. And the last question is, if you had one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, that's easy. Mind reading.
Mind reading. Okay.
I would love to, so that I could communicate better. It'd be great if I could skip that process.
In some ways, I think the way that you work with your customers, you may have that power. You can read their minds and find out what they're going to like. So you may already have that one. Jill, this has been a lot of fun. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything that you've done for Perkasie. You've been a real stalwart in the borough and making things happen, being part of our events. We wouldn't do it without you. Can't wait for things to get back to normal. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. That's for sure. Okie doke. You take care.
All right, guys. Have a great one.
See ya.